Thank you for taking the time to speak to us at Metal Rules today. I truly appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure,
Yeah.
Robert. I tend to avoid doing interviews because invariably I say something I shouldn't. So I really changed my whole attitude as far as interviews go is to just do them when there's something to talk about. And obviously we've got lots to talk about.
No, that's great. Yeah. We've spoken, I think this will be our third time for every release. You and I have spoken for a different publication or website.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Yeah. And I saw you play out in New York City when you guys reunited in Sellersville, PA a couple of years ago too, before the pandemic. So
yeah, great.
And I love the new CD. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. So do we.
Yeah, I think this CD is more in line with The Missing Piece compared to The Devil You Know, which is a little darker, a little heavier, a little bit more brooding. What's your take on that?
I do agree. I do think that each one of them has quite a unique stamp to it. This one, and I'm always like, so focused on the new one. But just as a body of work, it's formidable body of work that we put together under really difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
We were all isolated, obviously. We all did it from our homes, all different parts of the world, and put it together. And God, it turned out really good. So that in itself gives it its own personality, which is very, very different from the whole procedure of recording the three prior to it. Now I say three prior, I'm talking about the records we put together since the reunion. Okay, just to be clear. And as far as I'm concerned, this is LA Guns Mark II. We do stuff from the old, from the music from the last century. Let's put it that way. But yeah, we are incredibly focused in writing and recording new material. Fully aware. I'm sad to say that a good 70% of it will never be played live, because that's just the nature of the band we are. We just wouldn't be able to do that. I would love to come out and play the album from top to bottom in its entirety. That would be great, but I don't think there's really much of a market there for that. And we've got to mix it with our friends and followers, fans that have been with us right from the beginning. It's not fair that they should miss out because we've got this artistic vision that we want to get across, which we do. But yeah, it's got a vibe to it, and if I had to compare it to any of the three of those, I would say that you're right on that.
Yeah, I think. How did you come together with it? Being in all parts of the world recording, are you guys doing the music? Somebody sends you the music, you put the lyrics together. How's it work?
Tracy can knock out a song in 10 minutes. He can do the music to a song in 10 or 15 minutes. He's really clued in with the whole songwriting process, especially with me in mind and the way I sing. And I'm old school, verse, chorus, middle eight, chorus out, and that's pretty much the template that we've always done. So he put the music together pretty quickly. He put it together in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then the next part is us ingesting it and seeing what we can come up with and doing our parts, and that takes considerably longer.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, because well, for start, we want to do him proud, and it just we I feel we've just come to such a high standard that we have to continue that in spite of we're not obviously not going to get the recognition. We're just such a fucking amazing band, but we're tied in with a legacy, and we have to respect. And I love that legacy. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, sometimes I feel like we're treading water a bit, but it don't matter, because we have fuck all else to do anyway. And getting my studio to my engineering chops back up, and it was just great recording in a booth under stairs, and just had a vibe to it, and it was a kind of a lonely vibe, but when we sent our parts in, and Adam compiled it, Adam Hamilton, who played drums on it, he put it together. And when we got it back, it's like, yeah, this is really, really great. So, we didn't want to dwell on, didn't want to come up with a particularly sort of pandemic style title for it. Just Checkered Past, which, the missing piece, the devil, these are all little sly innuendo remarks regarding Tracy and I's relationship, if you will.
I get it.
In the nicest possible way. And this one, I think that title, he came up with that title. I think it sums it up very well.
That was kind of one of my questions too. It basically implies that there's been some questionable decisions in the past. Can you share your thoughts on this title a little bit?
The thing about it is, when we first came together as a band, we were solid and tight and friends, and then the business took over, and success took over, and all the pitfalls, the minefields that can go with success, and that we had a lot of people around us, managers and accountants and publicists, and really a lot of people that were considered essential, and that kind of drove a stake in it, because we were, and then all of a sudden we just wanted to go and do our own thing. We wanted to do something. Tracy always put it as LA Guns was his old lady, but whatever project he was working on was LA Guns is his wife, but whatever project he's working on is his girlfriend, that kind of a thing. So that was the root of a lot of problems, and of course we don't have that anymore. So we really don't have that many problems. But when you've known somebody as long as we have, we're like pushing 35 years, they're going to be highs and lows.
Yeah, I get it. You've had some member changes since the missing piece. Is the band in a good place now with everybody that's in there?
I'd like to say yeah, but no, not really. Everything's cool with Johnny, our bass player. Everything's cool with Adam, who is basically our engineer, and he's done everything. He's played bass, he's played rhythm guitar with us, and this time he played drums because due to the pandemic, we needed to record somebody that had their own setup, and Adam has his own setup, the drums.
Right.
And he knows the songs. So much as we would like to have brought our touring drummer, Scott Coogan, in to do the record, it just wasn't, it wasn't possible. He didn't have a studio. We didn't have any way to get him over to Adam. So unfortunately, he decided to quit, and which is fine. He's a busy guy. He's in a lot of other projects, and we wish him well. But I can understand his frustration. We've got an album coming out, and he didn't play a single note on it. And so we've got Shane back. Shane Fitzgibbon, the wonderful boy who did the cool guy that played drums on the first two. And yeah, he agreed to come back and fill in for some shows. We're not sure how long he's going to stick around. So yeah, we're in a little bit of turmoil there. We've got to find a great drummer with a great personality like Scott, and just to see if Shane can't do it, because he's very committed to other projects, recording projects and whatnot in LA. So, which is, you know, the reason he's not in the band in the first place. So yeah, we did take a hit, and I'm upset about it, but you know, I get it. You just got to roll with it and move on.
No, I get it. I get it. You know, some of my favorite songs on this album was Cannonball, Bad Luck Charm, perfect examples of LA Guns at their best, doing what they do with frantic music that sounds furious. Can you tell me a little about those songs?
Well, it's interesting because they're my two favorites too.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to pick favorites because
Yeah.
I like Living Right Now too, because that's just got that balls out, punky, sort of early Billy Idol vibe to it.
Yes.
But yeah, Cannonball, I just knew when I was recording it, when it was coming together, what a monster it was going to be. And, you know, the music, just the power of the music. And at one point we were going to call the album Cannonballs, but that was a little bit silly. You know, it was a bit AC/DC-ish, so we ended up going with something a bit more appropriate. But yeah, and when I was doing it and I was recording the vocals, have you seen the video?
No, I haven't seen the video.
Now you got to see the video.
Okay.
I've gone all out on the video. It's lyrically spot on. I'm dressed up as a pirate from the 16th century. I've got swords. I've got big wigs on and hats, and it's very funny. You got to see it.
I will.
So that it became apparent very early during the process that was probably going to be the opening track because of its strength and just, you know, the way it just comes out like a cannon. And then Bad Luck Charm. Well, it's funny.
It is.
It's a funny song, and you know, it's so rare to get humor out of metal nowadays. Ever actually, it's never been a particularly funny subject. But yeah, it's just got a cheeky, you know, if it wasn't for Bad Luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all vibe to it. And it's just a really nice, tasty bit of blues that we had fun with, and a big contrast to Cannonball, which was so visual and immediate. Well, you've got to check out the video, right?
I will. We'll include it with this the interview. When we do post the interview, we'll include it for sure. You know, another great song is, you know, very, very haunting, awesome ballad is If It's All Over Now. What a great song that is too. You know, you guys always put together one of those or two of those per album, and it's always awesome.
Thank you. That was hard work for me. You know, Mitch Davis is involved with the lyrics, and he helps me a lot with the vocals, and he was, you know, we'd Zoom a lot when I was doing recording, and he really helped me a lot with that song. I wasn't sure about it at first because I love Let You Down so much. I was just so focused on that. I just felt that it was just, I really needed to pull something out. Otherwise it was just going to be really just another bland ballad. And I've got to thank Mitch big time for that, because there was stuff that I was doing that was making it sound corny. And he came along and I wish I'd recorded. I wish I had, you know, Prosperity, just some of the sessions, some of the vocal sessions that I did with him, and then, you know, we'd get Tracy on the line and how's it going. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But thank you. I appreciate that song.
Yeah.
Some songs come easier than others. Bad Luck Charm, Cannonball, just effortless. Oh, hello. But that one took a little longer. It was a bit hard work, but yes, it turned out great.
Yeah, you pulled out some great emotion.
I think I just got it. I got it in my head that it sounded like a 6 a.m. song, and no. I'm not the biggest 6 a.m. fan, and you know, it was just, that's what bugged me about it. And once I could get away from thinking that, I felt a lot better about it. Don't say that I said that,
I didn't think that at all. I actually thought it was more akin to things like Ballad of Jane. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and that's me and Tracy's specialty right there.
Yeah. And I really like the energy and the emotion on it too. Was it about anybody in particular? Because you really come across singing this out of your heart.
Well, that's great, and that's what a good singer should do. It's difficult to know, you know, where the inspiration comes from. It's certainly not anything going on at the moment because I've been stuck in the house for the last 2 years, so there really hasn't been that much to write about. But you know, I try not to. I don't want, you know, I want it to sound personal, but I don't. It's not really about anyone. No, it's
Okay,
not.
that's fair. You know, when you're crafting lyrics for songs, what topics do you typically like to write about, and or do you gravitate towards?
Well, you know, you hear the music, and that's a big inspiration. And as I said, I got Mitch Davis in the team that has been since the missing piece, and he's just brilliant. You know, we come up with concepts and a vibe. We pick up Tracy's vibe, and we go with that more than trying to make any sort of social or a great lyrical statement.
Yeah, and you've matured too. You know, you're
Yes.
still like LA Guns, but you're more mature than you
Yeah, you know,
topics.
Mitch, you know, is such a high, runs me at such a high standard. You know, I can't just, you know, like I can't write songs like I Want to Be Your Man anymore because, you know, we've transcended that.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's totally understandable too. And it might not even work. You know, nowadays it's kind of like it's like
Yeah,
some Kiss songs, Christine 16. It doesn't work now. You know, just like,
exactly.
I have to talk to you about the chemistry between you and Tracy. When you guys are together, it's quite remarkable. And you're musically stronger as a unit. Tell me a little bit about that chemistry and what each of you guys bring to the table that makes it so strong.
We are, you know, you've got Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, you've got Joe Perry, Steven Tyler, very much Steve Stevens and Billy Idol. It's quite traditional for a singer and a guitar player to gel. I've played with hundreds of guitar players, really good ones, but no one. Their playing and just their drive inspires me, or actually sometimes frightens me, to be honest. To not fuck up and to deliver the very best good that I can, and it's not a romp, it's not a laugh, it's taken really seriously, and I just feel that that's how it is with us. You know, he like brings out a good side of me, and I think he's the same way too. He wouldn't give me any rubbish. He wouldn't pass anything that he wasn't 100% confident and felt proud of.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't send him a lyric or a finished vocal that I didn't think was the very best that I could do. And it's always been that way. And that's for me, that's the integral part of chemistry. I don't know what it is for him, but for me, it's just like, you know, it just set me at a much higher standard.
It comes across that way to the fans. It doesn't sound like anybody's mailing it in or just putting filler tracks. Everything is a very solid, thought out song.
No.
Yeah. When can we see you guys back on tour? I mean, I know everything's going a little crazy right now.
Yes, it is, but we're finally going to venture out of our hibernation in November. The record drops November 11th, and we have a show November 11th. Just some local stuff in LA, in and around LA. We've got a couple of shows in Vegas. Nothing, you know, no big touring, no East Coast or certainly no foreign travel. Just getting our feet wet, just, you know, to make us feel like we're a band again. And you know, we've got a new record coming out, something that's a celebration in itself. So I'm glad to say we've got, I don't know, I think it's half a dozen, 6, 7 shows between now and New Year. culminating with our traditional New Year's Eve show, the Whiskey on Sunset, which, you know, I was gutted. We couldn't do it last year because, you know, everything was down. So they held our spot, and we'll be back there New Year's and loving every minute of it.
That's awesome. I wish I lived out in California. I'd be there. I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be back there next year for sure.
I'd like to see that. That's great. You talked about playing the whole album. Obviously, you can't do that live. What are some of your favorite tracks to play live? You think that are going to go over really well?
Well, I think, you know, Cannonball, I'm seriously invested in. I wish you'd seen the video because, I'm really, you know, getting very Elton John on it. So that's going to be the opening song in the set, and I want to bring the captain from the video into the live set. So it's going to be very pantomime. It's going to be so as well as being a kick-ass song, and it's I wouldn't say it's a difficult song to sing, but it's not easy by any means. So I'm going to be like working my ass off figuring out how to sing it live, because never done it live, and pulling off this charade that I seem to have got myself so we've got rehearsals. We've got like 3 or 4 days rehearsals prior to our first show. We've got to get Shane back in and up to speed, and it's something to be excited about. And yeah, it's going to be it's good. I'm looking forward to having, you know, like pre-stage butterflies again. It's been so long. But yeah, and so that's going to be in the set. Let You Down's in the set, which we've done live before, and that sounds great. And then what's the other one? Get Along.
Get Along.
Which is the sort of Led Zeppelin, acoustic. It sounds like something off of Led Zeppelin 3, you know, so
yeah,
like Gallup whole kind of a thing. And so that's going to be in the set too. Those are the 3 new ones.
I like Dog. Dog was good too. Maybe you could throw Dog in.
Dog would be great. It's a greite song.
Awesome
it
song.
Really is. Yeah.
That's like my third favorite. That's my third favorite on the album, if I had to name it.
Had a lot of fun. It's just great, isn't it? That bridge.
Yep.
I take you anywhere. Gonna be my dog. Out there. Don't be my dog. Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you like it. Yeah.
And it's a fun song too. It's very powerful and fun. I like that song.
Yeah, lots of fun.
I want to be respectful to your time. Could I ask one more question?
Sure, of course.
Loved Cocked and Loaded. Did you know when you were making that CD at the point in your career that it would be a classic CD in the making?
I can't say that I was 100% sure, but I was very confident. You see, the thing is, I joined the band. I'm singing on the first debut record, but I wasn't really involved with a lot of the conception of it. For me, I came in and it was a bit of a salvage job. Whereas Cocked and Loaded, it was completely clean slate, you know, completely blank canvas, and so I was heavily involved in it, and I really loved the way it developed, and I knew by the end of it that when I went back to England, when I went back to London with that under my belt to do interviews and you know, once I got a little whiff of the reaction that people were giving it, I felt really, really good about it. Yeah, you're right.
It still stands the test of time.
It sure does. Yeah, I'm real proud of it, and it's good and it's fun. You know, and it's not trying to be anything we're not, and it's just yeah. And I like
the videos are great. All the videos are great too.
We did it recently. We did a live stream. We popped out of our holes to get together in Vegas, in a bar in Vegas, record a live stream of the record in its entirety. And that was fun. That's floating around out there. You should check that out.
I'm going to check that out too. I know you guys did a lot of live streams too.
You've got to go find Cannonball video right now.
I am. Phil,
All
thank you
right,
so
well,
much for your time. I really appreciate it.
you,
It's a pleasure.
yeah, I'm a bit of a time crunch because I've got someone else calling. But
Of course.
thank you. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you in Jersey.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.